In this video, we are going to learn how to create a product on Woocommerce where you are going to have two different price range. So where you have a lower price here and a higher price range here. Like when you check the main store, you also see it appear like this. You can see all these ones have just only one option, one price, and this one has two price. And you also notice that this one, all of them were you're having add to cart on it, but once you have a product that have two price range, it will not change to option because you are going to select the particular price that you want based on the other options or the other variables. Okay, so that's why you are having something like this. And in that case, you're also going to have options for people to choose, which can be size, it can be color, it can be weight, and all of that. Okay, so to do this on Woocommerce, we are going to use a feature called variable product on Woocommerce. So what we need to do is to go to our list of products. So I'm going to use an existing product, so I'm not going to create a new product now. I'm going to use an existing product. So let's use this mug bee hat here. So of course this is not a live website, so this is just a demo website I created for tutorials. So this is the mug product we are going to use now. So as you can see, the one I showed you earlier though, so this is it here. So we want to make this to have this price variations. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is to click on edit product. Of course, if you are uploading a new product, of course you click on add new product and still follow the same procedure. All right, so click on edit here. So I'm assuming this product was already existing on my store. Now I have different variations of it, maybe in terms of color, in terms of size, and what have you. All right, okay, so if you are creating a new one, of course you put the title of the product, put the product description and product short description. All right, now by default you normally use this simple product. Whenever you upload it, by default it uses simple products. Okay, and you just put the price here. Then if you are doing sales, you put the sale price. Now for us to create this type of product that we want, what we are going to do is to come down to this arrow now, and we are going to choose variable product. Okay, so I click on variable product now. So you are going to have two other options here now. You are going to have attributes and you are going to have variations. So first you are going to do now is to, of course, if you are adding store key units and all of that, like this store management, which is discussed in a full Woocommerce tutorial. All right, so first we are going to do is to click on attributes. So because we need the attribute for us to have the variation, just like you can see here, we have size. When it comes to size, we have S, XL and SSL, so people can choose. When it comes to color, we have this. So you can create as many options as you want depending on the products that you are selling. Okay, so I'll click on attributes now. Now you will be presented with this window. So by default, they will give you, Woocommerce will give you an option to add an example or as a starting point rather. So you can see here, you have these enter options here for customers to choose from. So that's exactly what we want to do. So if it's size, we'll choose size and then put the different size. If it's color and all of that, and we are going to use this sign here which you have on your keyboard. So I may likely put a keyboard on the screen to show you how that key looks like. So it's on your keyboard that you are going to see that. So first we are going to do is to use size. So pick size. Okay, so now what sizes are we looking at? So I'll just repeat the same example I showed you earlier. So we have X. So you go on your keyboard where you have the bracket sign, which I said I'll show on the keyboard on the screen. So you hold your shift key and you press that bracket sign and you type the next one. So that sign is just like a line. That's what you're going to use to separate the different sizes. Okay, so I have another one, SL. So let's press it again. I'll do SSL. Okay, now I'll click on save attribute. Now ensure that these two options, say visible on the product page and also used for variation. So make sure these two are ticked. So you click on save attribute. So we've saved the size now. So let's do another one, which we'll call, so you click here, add new, and you call this one color. Okay, so you repeat the same thing, red, and we'll press, and we'll say yellow, and we'll press again, yellow, and we'll press again, and we'll say, let's say blue. Okay, so you can have as many as we want. Then we'll click on save attribute. So let's do one more. So we can call this one weight. Okay, let's call it material, because we actually have option where we can put weight, but you can also do weight if you are going to have different weights, like to show people. So let's say this can be when you are selling, depending on the type of product you are selling. So you can choose any attribute that you want to assign to your products. Okay, so for this mug now, I can say plastic, for example. Then I can say ceramic. Then I can say stainless, just giving an example here. Okay, so you would click and save the attribute. Now we'll now return back here to where we have variations. So it has saved the 3 attributes that we want to use. Now you can also rearrange them by dragging this. Let's assume you want color first, or you want size. So let me say I want color first, and make sure you save the attribute again so that everything will be saved. If you want to make any changes to what you've already done, you can click here and also make changes. Okay, so we'll come to variation now. So you have these two options. So Woocommerce has made it very easy for us to generate variations based on the attributes that we have. So you can do it automatically or we can do it manually, but it's best to do it automatically. So you click on this generate variations. So let Woocommerce generate variations based on the attributes that you've added. So you click on generate. So you see this pop up here that says, do you want to generate all variations, blah blah blah, like that, and you can run up to 50 at once. Okay, so you click on OK. Click on OK. So we'll wait for it to process. So the number of attributes you've created will determine how long it's going to take to generate all the whole stuff. Okay, so it's generated 27 variations, as you can see here. 27. So as you can see now, so we are going to have, for each of the products, you are going to have red, you are going to have the size here, you are going to have the material. Okay, so next we are going to do is really where the main work is to allocate a price for each and every one of them, because right now they are more like a single product. So we are going to allocate a price for each and every one of them. Okay, so we're going to allocate prices. So we are now going to add prices for each of them. So we're going to be adding them one by one. If you click here, it's going to add one set of prices for all of them, which doesn't really give us what we want, because we want that each color and each size and each material should have their different price point, okay, or the price for each of them rather. So I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 so that this video will not be too long. Then I'm going to speed up the process of doing the rest, okay. So it's going to be the same process. So you click on this edit here. So you are going to add the product image for that particular red for the size of X and the plastic material. So of course you will need to have those images already on your site or on your computer. You will need to upload them. So for this purpose, I'm just going to use just images I have in here. So let's assume I want to use this for the first one, so which is red. Okay, let me change this and use red so that we can be. So let me use this for red. So I click on the image, then I put the price. So the price is very important. So I put the price for 23 for example. So if you are doing sales, you can put the selling price and schedule rather. So I may do a separate video where I'm going to show you how to create different prices, where you can have something like when there is something like this, where you people will have discount when they purchase. So you have different price range, okay. You have different price range like this. Sorry, not different price, like you have a higher price and a lower price, where you have the selling price and you are going to have the original price, okay. So I'm going to do for all of this now. So ensure that this is enabled. So you put any other information you want to put. If you want a specific description for this particular product to tell people more about it, you can write it here, okay. And for anything you do not really understand what it means, just hover on this question mark and it will give you a brief explanation of what it is. We call it tooltip. So you can just give you a brief explanation. So you do that, you click on edit now, okay. So next we are going to do is red, SL, X and ceramic. So we'll also change the image here again. So we're also doing red, you know, and we put the price again. So for ceramic, the price can be 25. So remember this, we did 23. So the whole essence is to tell people that for each type of product they choose is going to cost them different price to have that, okay. So I'm going to do for all of them now, then I will come back and show you the final output. Once you are done adding everything like this, so you make sure you click on save changes to ensure that everything has been saved. So for some of them I did not actually add images to them, all right. So I didn't add any images for them. Now when you finish adding all of them, you are now going to set a default. For example, like in this case, so you see that the default is size X and color blue. So there must be a default that people will see first. But if you don't want to have any default, you can leave it at choose an option, okay. So no price option will be available here, but let's put an option. So let's say first is red, so default size will be X and this will be plastic, okay. So once you are done with all of this, make sure you put the right image. So it will be best that the first one you have here, okay, the first variation that you have here is the image you are going to use here, so that when people click on it, that's the same. When people open, that's the same image that will appear here. But if you don't have any default, then you can use anyone to do that. So for this product gallery, so the product gallery is actually the images that people will see when they hover on the site. So let me show you how this particular page is now. First of all, before we save the changes we've made, because all the changes we've made so far has not been saved. So this is how it is looking like. Okay, so this is that default image. So you can see this is the product gallery image that I was talking about. So the product gallery, so this is where it normally appears here. So if you have more of it, you can also have it show here. Now I don't want it to appear since I have different variations of images now, so I don't want to confuse my customers to be wondering which one are they now choosing or which one are they seeing. So once you are done with everything, please ensure that you click on update here. Okay, you click on update, and when we refresh our site, you are going to now have something that looks like this. Okay, so you can see now, before it was showing us choose option because we didn't have a default option, and you can see that the price range is what we have here. So by default, we see we have 5 here, which is just add to cart. So if I reload this page, so let me open it on a new page so that you can see what I am talking about here. So if we come down to that product, so you can see that it has changed as well to select options. So once your customers come to the site, so they are going to see it like this. So they can now choose yellow color. You can see the price will change. If they choose stainless, it change. So whichever option they choose based on what you have put in, and anyone they pick, the image you use for that one too will also appear. Okay, the image will also appear there, right? So that is how to have this kind of product where you have 2 different price range. So like I said, this is the lowest and this is the highest price. Okay, so this is how to create it in Woocommerce. All right, thank you for taking our time to watch this video, and I will see you in the next one.